Okay, today we are going to be figuring out how to make cool mixed media backgrounds on craft paper. Because I bought this fun Dylusions Classics journal, and what it does is it has 4 pages of cardstock, and then it has 4 pages of Kraft, and then it has 4 pages of cardstock, and then it has 4 pages of black. So I am going to be doing a video today about Kraft, and then I'm also going to be doing a video about black by itself. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this together is this is truly a mixed media. I have half of my craft room here, and functionally I want to see how each of these things works on craft paper, because without like painting over the whole thing, I want to see how the craft will react to different mixed media products. Okay, we are going to start with just the very basic way that I tend to make my, I gotta move some of this. It's crawling in on me. I just can't with all my stuff. Okay, so let's start with just paint. So I got 2 different kinds of paints here. I have distress paint, which is a more translucent paint, and then I have acrylic paint from like Michael's or somewhere like that that's more plain. I do think, though, rather than using such a similar color, I am going to, for Kraft, pick 2 blues and grab a couple blues. There we go. All right, so we're going to try different kinds of paint. And I cut up a just a little makeup sponge because I am going to, I don't want to have to clean things, and I'm lazy. Okay, so let's start. I brought out 2 different sets of stencils so you could see how different kinds of stencils work on backgrounds. So number 1, this is what's called a masking stencil, right? Meaning that it has more covered spaces than it has open spaces. And so for the middle, I am going to use this. Oh, we're going to use blue, regular blue paint. All right, so let's go ahead, because I don't want to have it totally covered for my background. And then I'm not painting the whole thing with this. I'm just going to go over different spots of this in a few places. And because this is a full page spread, I'm using a big stencil. If I was doing just a 1-page spread, I would probably use a smaller stencil. I'm not going through my whole book and doing this on every page right now, right? And the reason for that being is I have done that in the past, and then I've been super sad when I found a new technique or I bought a new product and I didn't have any room in my journal for that product, and so it didn't work out the best for me. So now I'm a little bit more judicious, and I'll do some, right? I will do some. All right, let's see how that looks so far. Okay, that's cute. Oh my goodness. I love that so much. So the blue and brown will always go together because they're complementary on the color wheel. Complementary? I think they're complementary. Anyways, they're friends on the color wheel. Let's just say that. Okay, because I can't look it up right now. All right, so there we go. So now we have some fun background stencil bits. And let's go ahead and do we have another page? Oh, here's one, but this needs to be yellow. Oh, there's one. Okay. All right, I'm feeling like on a small page like this, I want to grab a smaller stencil. We're going to use these same things. Oh, those are Tim Holtz stencils. Those are much smaller. Ooh, we want to do some splats? How fun would I haven't done splats in years. All right. It's like there's a coffee splat. Okay, so these are opaque paints because they're just plain acrylic. I'm going to do, oh, that turned out cute. So we're going to try these. I'm really thrilled with the way this came out. I love these splats. I probably should have turned this stencil so it wasn't so matchy-matchy, right? Okay, we're going to dry this real quick. Okay, and this Kraft is going to suck up. Okay, let's talk about cardstock versus Kraft. Cardstock is almost coated, and so you're going on top of it. Kraft is more of an open paper, so it's going to suck things up. It's going to absorb more of your stuff. Okay, now we're going to use, let's use this one. This is Salvaged Patina. This is a distress paint. I have a whole video about distress paints if you would like to see that. Okay, let's do a border. You want to do some circles? I have a thing for circles. So let's see what happens if we do a little bit of this, how this paint goes on. And I have a feeling it's not going to go on as well. Well, let's try it. Because distress paint tends to be more translucent than acrylic paint. But let's do this and we will see what happens. That's what a test is for. Okay. And I'll come back and I'll show you all these when I'm done. Okay, so that's cute. That is a great background. At least it got me started. Okay, so let's do now. I have another big stencil over here that's open, right? Because we want it more open on the edges because I want more paint. All right, let's do another color. Let's do the Distress Faded Jeans. Okay. And this feels more like kind of more of a in the baby blue, light blue realm than the turquoise. But blues will always go together because they start with the same base color, right? And then you add, turquoise has more yellow in it. This baby blue may have more white in it. There you go. All right, I'm going to go around here. I don't know if I love that stencil, but in for a penny. Well, I like the stencil. I don't know if I like the stencil for this project because it's not really coming across as flowers. I think if we did it as a with some sprays, which I am going to do some sprays. Maybe I'll bring it back for some sprays later. But it is a very large stencil, right? And what I'm trying to do with this page is just to give it a frame with paint, which is a very easy and cheap way to make a frame if you're not flush with money on your mixed media, right? You can use acrylic. I love acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is my jam. All kinds of it. Okay. All right, so that is what happens with acrylic paint on Kraft. Okay, so now we are going to decoupage using Mod Podge and a silicone brush on this Kraft paper. I'm trying to figure out, I have a really cool piece of magazine collage. I'm thinking I will do, because I don't want them to be too different. Oh, let's do a one-pager. Do we have a one-pager? We have a one-pager. Okay, let's do this on a one-pager. And let's kind of do top and bottom. Because I want to see how the different materials sink in or don't sink in to the Kraft paper, right? So It could be that sometimes things will like literally look like they have been sucked into the paper, and sometimes they will just look like you stuck some tissue paper. So this is tissue paper with acrylic paint on it that I personally made using just acrylic paints, and this looks like I used the tops of bottles. So I'm hoping we get to still see some of that color through the craft. So part of the neat thing about this journal is that it has the different kinds of paper, right? So it has the craft paper, it has the black paper, and then it has this cardstocky paper. So that is kind of the cool thing about it, that you get to work on all those different kinds of mediums. Okay, now let's go. Oops, I glue my pages together. That has happened more than once. I have wax paper because my husband got sick of listening to me whine about how I kept gluing my pages together. Okay, so now I have this fun, I wonder if, well, I would want it on both pages. I have some more of this. Ooh, this would be I think this would be kind of fun. Okay, hold on, let me grab a little bit more of that. Oh, thought I had more of that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix my paper with, this is just regular, plain old, let's go find a different page for this. Actually, we could do these ones, right? We're looking for craft pages. There's a craft page. So let's do this, and then maybe put mine in the corners. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's see. So this is tissue paper, just cheap. So much a ream, like $25 a ream. And I think this, what's on this one may be Dina Wakley's gloss acrylic sprays. I don't think this is acrylic paint. I think this is a gloss spray. Just from what I remember. Don't quote me on that. And then this is Joggles, this online store I order on and I recommend a lot in my affiliate links that are in the description. And I will, of course, have affiliate links for all these products in the description in case you see something you love. But they always send, whenever you order from them, they send their packages kind of like gift wrapped in a little bit of really cute tissue paper. And this is one of the ones they sent me that looks like a city. So now I feel like they're just tempting me to order again to see if I get a city. Kitty, what's the matter? You can't just sit over there and yell. If you want to come over here and help do the collage, you can. Kitties have feelings. I can't quite tell which kitty that is. If I had to guess, I would say the feral one that's starting to like us. All right, let's find some more craft paper. All right, there's some craft with painting on it. Craft with painting on it. Okay, so now I need collage paper. Boop, boop, boop. So this is Tim Holtz collage paper. And I feel like maybe we do on this one. Oh, I also have a napkin somewhere. There it is. I see it. I see it. Napkin. Okay. Maybe we mix these two too. Brilliant. I am brilliant. Okay, so we're gonna put this kind of down here in this corner. And I'm surprised the Kraft paper isn't sucking up too much more of the Mod Podge than normal paper does. I kind of thought it might suck up. It definitely sucks up more paint. Just FYI. So. Oh my goodness. This is looking pretty. Okay, we'll do this on this other side. Hold on. Let's manage our collage bits. Okay. Just kind of trying to frame it because I'll continue that magazine around, I am sure. And this, if I haven't mentioned it, is this is the epitome of mixed media, right? So I have collage, I have napkin decoupage, I have Tim Holtz collage papers, I have magazine collage pieces. That is what it means to have mixed media. Mixed media just means you use all your crap. So let's put our bugs right side up. I don't know why Tim likes bugs so much. He's a boy, a man. Boys like bugs. I have a son. Actually, my son hates bugs. We live in Florida, where every bug lives. We have lizards that live outside our house, and we have a baby one that's running around our house inside right now. I fear for his life because cats, right? Baby lizards don't seem like they would be a good fit for 3 fun-loving, lizard through the window watching creatures. All right, cool. So we're gonna let this dry and we will be back. Okay, now we're gonna try sparkly things on Kraft paper. I have 2 different kinds of paint. Let's do kind of yellow, and this is funky fuchsia. And I'm thinking I want a small, oh, it's not open yet. I want a small stencil, small-ish. Ooh, Vicky Wooten. Okay, I know what I'm doing, because this is going to be fancy. This is going to be fancy-pantsy. We're going to use this one. Okay, so we're going to get funky fuchsia. So this is, oops, I got to put my lid back on. This is paint with shimmer in it, okay? And we have another kind of thing that is shimmer with no paint. So we're gonna try that too. Funky fuchsia, funky fuchsia. Okay. There we go. Let's do it over here too. I have quite a bit left. I don't wanna waste my fancy color shimmery delightful paint. Still have a lot. I poured out a lot of this. Okay, let's do kind of a snoogie along this edge. We'll do a snoogie along this edge. do a little bit down here. We'll do a little bit around here. I usually cover up the edges, but you never know. You might see a little bit of this behind, huh? Okay, so that is Dylusions Shimmer Paint. I think that worked great. Okay, now we're gonna try, this is Acrylic Paint Metallic Blackberry by Art, are you kidding me? Art Academy. Should have worn my old lady glasses. Okay, obviously I've used this before. Oh, look, it's got a thing. Okay, we're gonna use the thing. All right, so, boop, boop, boop. Let's see what happens with this. Ooh, that's more of a brown. What do we think? Well, this is interesting. Okay, I'm kind of glad I'm doing it here. Where we're gonna do it on the Kraft and the white and the regular cardstock, because I wonder, it's supposed to be raspberry and it just looks brown over here. I wonder if it has more of a pinkish hue. I want to know how much the Kraft is tainting the purpley pinkness of this. And it looks like it did quite a bit. It looks like it turned kind of dark raspberry into just brown, right? The background of the Kraft paint did that. So I would stick to light color saturated glimmers on Kraft. Okay, we are gonna now try Distress Glaze on Kraft, and I'm gonna use crushed olive and fossilized amber. Fossilized amber is the strangest one in the jar, because if you look at this label, it looks yellow, but if you look at the goop, it looks kind of beige. Okay, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna get a cool stencil. Let's use this one. All right, we can use an open stencil because we're spraying. Okay. This is crushed olive. Crushed olive. Okay, spray, spray, spray. There we go. And now we're going to do fossilized amber. And then we're going to do rub, 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 rub. Fun. All right, now we're going to dry it. Okay, so I can already tell that some of this is oxidizing. And what happens with Distress Oxide specifically is not only are we getting it's a spray and a pigment and dye together, right? So let's do one more set of spritzies. Let's use a different stencil. Let's use some dots and see if we can get some more of this to react, because it should react when it gets the other parts of it wet. So this could be kind of fun. I am seeing some really good reaction here, like some oxidey bits. Now, when I say a really good reaction, if we were doing this on cardstock, we would see like color blooming. Like it would be bright yellow, bright green, things like that. I think this is a cool... Like this is probably the coolest I've enjoyed Oxide thus far. Let me dry this. Okay, as a magazine collager, I cannot have a weird layer in my magazine collage that will move around. So this Distress Oxide is made to, see how like we dried it and then we did something else and it moved and we did something else. That's its job. Like its job is to move around. But as a mixed media person, I can't have my layers moving around because I'm going to be gluing on this and doing all kinds of weird stuff. So they have a product called Distress Glaze that if you put this over this layer, and you can kind of see it's shiny, it dries matte, or at least it has every other time. Let's see if we dry it, what happens. Isn't that interesting? Distress Microglaze Discolors Kraft paper. So if you're going to use Distress Oxides, you cannot use the microglaze on the Kraft paper because it will discolor it. It's almost covering up everything I did, and while it won't move, this defeated the purpose. So that was interesting. I don't mind. I'll just do something over it. So I'm glad I tried it and you didn't try it. Okay, last but not least, we're going to use some Pearly, which is a luster. Okay, I don't know what luster paste means. What Pearly is like a texture paste with color in it. So we're going to make some cool stuff on Kraft where we're just going to have a little bit of texture here and there. So I'm going to do some squares with this one. Now this stuff works the best if you're going to use a, see, that's what it looks like. It's Pearly. If you use a plastic craft knife, because you need to be able to kind of get it in there. Okay, so we're going to do this. And you'll see, how fun is that? Okay, so we're going to do this on Kraft. Now, I would expect, if I had to guess, I would guess this is going to do amazing on Kraft because Pearly is opaque, meaning it is not see-through. Okay, it is not a see-through medium, but we're going to try it and then we're going to dry it, right? Okay, so I have another color. Oh, nice. I have another blue. Okay, let's close this up. So we have two blue Pearlies. I just think that's kind of a fun way to add a little pop of something. Little unexpected. Let's do it this way so we don't break our... So if you put something down on this when it's wet and it's texture, obviously it is going to flatten the one that you put it on. Okay, look at that. So cute. Okay, I have to go wash this. I'm not going to wash this because I keep it dirty. But I hardly ever wash anything. But if you leave Pearly texture paste or any texture paste on your stencil, it will adhere to it and your stencil won't work anymore. All right, here are the results for the Kraft paper, and I'm going to go back to front because these are bad. I don't love this. I love my tissue paper, but on the Kraft, it doesn't look very cute. This would look really nice on a lighter color because more of it would blend in. I don't like how this looks. This is the debacle. This is the Distress Oxide with the microglaze, and this does not work at all. I am going to make sure, and it's fine. I use acrylic paint. I can just paint over anything. But do not use microglaze on your Kraft. This is the Pearly texture paste. Works amazing because it is opaque, right? You can't see through it. This is the... Didn't I do any of these? I did this one. So this is the real tissue paper already printed, and then my tissue paper. I think this did a lot better. But this has, okay, so things I like and things I don't like. This, I think, did better because it has a very strong print to it that covers more of the paper than this one did. Like, I think part of this is that there's so little paint on here that all it looks like is a big white blob, right? This, I think, looks better because there's a really high contrast to the graphics. And then this looks even better because you're just getting some texture. This page, I think, came out really well. All right, there is acrylic paint, and I thought that was fun. This page I'm working on. Acrylic paint in the middle and distress paint on the edge. I did more of these because this is kind of my actual style of what I do. Oh gosh, this is, I like the collage and I like the butterflies. This turned out really well. I think that these are gonna have really fun background images. Now I might knock this down with some paint the color of this. Like I might thin out some distress paint and make this yellow, and then you'll just see them. But I think for background texture, whatever, this collage worked really well. I'm very pleased with that. This is Diane Reevely. The pink is Diane Reevely Glimmer Paints, and the other one is a Glimmer. What I learned from that is the ones with full pigment, so hers is pretty much like the same color, maybe just a little bit more muted. This one, it actually turned the paint color brown, where over here it's more of a really deep purple. I don't know if you can see that, but this is going to make a fun background. Let me see if I have any more crafties. Nope, that is it. So if I have to say my favorite, so my favorite is always going to be this because this is how I make backgrounds. But my second favorite is collage paper, or even this napkin on the Kraft, because it's giving me something to look at. So hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.